We've talked a lot about the impact of Greece on U.S. stocks, but what about buying Greek stocks themselves? That is what economist Robert Shiller suggested last Thursday when I spoke with him. Take a listen.
The U.S. is an expensive market. Practically anywhere else is cheaper.
Where do you think is the best value compared to the U.S.?
Greece.
Greece. Would you be investing in Greece now?
No, I'm not. Maybe I should. One feels fearful, but the secret is never to put too much money into investments like that.
So should you be doing that? Is it a good idea or a crazy idea? Let's ask the Trading Nation. Todd Gordon is with TradingAnalysis.com. Neil Azis is with Rearview Macro. Great to see you guys. Neil, what do you think about buying Greek stocks now?
Right. Thanks very much. Hi, Mandy, and pleasure to meet you, Todd.
Hey, Neil.
With all due respect to Professor Shiller, I think there are more variables to the situation at the moment, well beyond valuation. First off, when you look at the valuation comparison, you're comparing the United States or a developed market to a nation that is on its way to becoming a frontier market from an emerging market. So I'm not sure that a valuation comparison makes a lot of sense at the moment. The second variable that's very important at the moment when you think about buying a distressed asset or a value name is that it can become deep value. In this particular case, you run the risk that, as your previous guest suggested, that there's a redenomination and the drachma is brought back. And I think if you go back through history, all the way back to 1994 and look at almost a dozen examples of nations who have, devalued their currency, it's something like 55% of a devaluation in the first year and then maybe 53% in the second year. So let's just call it 50%.
Right.
So if you buy something now, you do run the risk of devaluation of significance going forward.
Just very quickly, Neil, I want to ask you, because I understand that you are Greek, and just a moment ago, Larry Kudlow was sort of calling out to the Greek diaspora around the world, of which you are one, about, going back to your country, investing there and helping out the Greek people. What do you make of that?
I think that's a great concept in general, but I think you need to have a total reset, and that'll happen at the generation level, perhaps next time around. But right now, based on the way the government situation is and the continued restrictions, there isn't a lot of appetite, I think, for money to come back on shore. But it's an interesting concept, that's for sure.
It is an interesting concept. Todd, you've been doing some tracking of the GREK, the Greek stocks ETF. What's it telling you?
Absolutely. To Neil's point, and this is quite an opportunity to suggest a trading level for Professor Shiller, but we are in a free fall in this chart. We are just set to break about this $10 level in this ETF GREK. That brings in a lower channel level of about $6. So it looks like we have about a 40% decline to come. Today is a huge trading day. We have about 3.6 million shares traded. That's actually nowhere near the high volume we've seen back in June 29th when this thing really broke down, of about 6.1 million. So we have further to fall, and then to boot, the euro with today's close below 110 and that spot currency rate, that is also broken uptrend support. So it looks like the path of least resistance for everything Europe, specifically led by Greece, is lower.